The judge overseeing Donald Trump's hush money trial has modified portions of the gag order that restrict what the former president can say about witnesses such as Michael Cohen and Stormy Daniels. This change comes just 2 days before Trump faces off against President Joe Biden at the CNN presidential debate. While Trump can now comment on witnesses and the jury pool, he remains barred from discussing prosecutors, court staff, or their families, according to a court order issued Tuesday by Judge Juan Merchan. These restrictions will remain in place until Trump's sentencing, scheduled for July 11th. Judge Merchan justified lifting parts of the gag order by noting that circumstances have now changed following Trump's recent conviction on 34 counts of falsifying business records. The alteration allows Trump to discuss witnesses who testified against him in the predominantly Democratic jury pool in Manhattan, a topic likely to come up in the upcoming debate. Trump's spokesperson, Cheung, criticized the order, claiming it leaves in place portions of the unconstitutional gag order and announced plans to appeal the ruling. Cheung stated, "This is another unlawful decision by a highly conflicted judge, which is blatantly un-American as it gags President Trump, the leading candidate in the 2024 presidential election during the upcoming presidential debate on Thursday." He added that Trump's legal team would immediately challenge today's unconstitutional order. New York's highest court recently declined to hear Trump's appeal on the gag order, stating no substantial constitutional question was directly involved. During the trial, Trump was held in contempt 10 times for violating the gag order by making statements about Cohen, Daniels, and the jury pool. These violations resulted in a $10,000 fine and a threat of imprisonment for further infractions. Throughout the 7-week trial, Trump argued that the gag order prevented him from defending himself against public statements made by witnesses, particularly Cohen. Judge Merchan acknowledged he could not legally restrict Cohen's public comments, but expressed frustration over Cohen's statements about the trial. At one point, Merchan requested prosecutors to ask Cohen to refrain from making public comments. Cohen responded to the judge's order by stating, "For the past 6 years, Donald and his acolytes have been making constant negative statements about me. Donald's failed strategy of discrediting me so that he can avoid accountability didn't work then and won't work now." The Manhattan District Attorney's Office declined to comment on the judge's order. In his decision, Merchan emphasized that the original gag order provisions were narrowly tailored to address the significant concerns regarding the defendant's extrajudicial speech. He noted that appeals courts had upheld the restrictions imposed during the trial. Despite lifting some restrictions, Merchan expressed a preference to continue protecting jurors but acknowledged he could not legally extend those protections. Merchan maintained that prosecutors, court staff, and their families must be able to perform their duties without fear of threats, intimidation, harassment, or harm until sentencing is complete. Last week, Manhattan prosecutors argued for maintaining the gag order concerning jurors, prosecutors, and their families, citing increased threats against prosecutors since the trial began. They did not oppose lifting the gag order portion that prevented Trump from commenting on witnesses. As the trial continues to unfold, the judge's modifications to the gag order will allow Trump more leeway in his public statements, potentially impacting his strategy during the CNN presidential debate against Biden.